Hey, what's going on everyone? It is Kyle and we are back with another episode of my programming and web development tutorials. This is another C++ episode. This is C++ episode 4, and in today's episode we are going to be working with strings. So let's get started and we will go through a little bit of an explanation. So what is a string? Basically that is the question that everyone will be asking. What is a string? Basically a string is basically just text, but it can contain numbers and special characters and everything like that. So it's basically anything that you know, like numbers that you don't want to do mathematical equations with. So a string could be your name. It could be the registration plate on your car. It could be anything like that, and it's basically just text in a nutshell. That's pretty much what it is. So yeah, let's get started and we'll make up our template application, and then we'll go through what you can do with strings. Just some really simple stuff with strings, and then we'll build another one of our sample applications to apply our knowledge. So include IOStream, because we're going to need that to output and input stuff onto the screen. And we're also going to need, in this episode, we're going to need to include the string header. Okay, so, and that will actually let us use strings, just like IOStream does. So we're going to create our main function, and as always, we return 0. Now it's just a good idea just to get into the habit of, constantly doing this, because you probably will have to do it a fair bit anyway. Okay, so just like in the last episode, we are going to declare a variable, but a string variable this time. So instead of just typing string, that won't actually work. If I was to type string, my string, you would actually get an error, because it says error. String was not declared in this scope, and that's because string is actually part of the standard library. So just like when you see out onto the screen, you also need to use the std : string, and then that would actually work. Okay, so we're going to assign a value to our string, and to assign a value you just need to place text within quotes. So we're going to put in hello, I don't know, something like this. Okay, hello without the O. Okay, and I think you can also put in something like that, like a new line as well. So then we can std cout my string. And then that will work as well. It creates a new line. So this is like, strings are really basic compared to integers. There is a lot that you can do with them, but that's kind of more advanced than what I'm aiming to do in this episode. So basically we'll just create a very simple application that will take your first name and your last name, and then print it out on the screen. How about we do first name, last name, and pet's name? How about we do something like that? Cool. Okay, so just like in the second tutorial where we covered our integers and all the rest of that kind of stuff, we're going to do something very similar. So we're going to rename this variable to first name, and we're not going to assign a value to it because the user will be doing that. And we'll create another one, string last name, and we'll create one last one, and we'll call it pet name. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to see out onto the screen, please enter your first name space, and then we're going to use the same thing we did in the last tutorial where we see in, and then we point it off to our first name. And let's just make a little test. First name, and we'll run that, and then you can see there that I have created an error, and we'll open it up. So please enter your first name. So we'll say Bill, and then it couts Bill onto the screen, which is just what we want. Okay, so then we're going to ask the next question, and the next question is going to be std cout, please enter your last name. Same deal. last name, and we're just going to repeat for the last step, stdc out. Please enter the name of your pet. Okay, and stdc in, and if I could spell pet right, we would be laughing. There we go. And then what we're going to do is, once we've gotten all the input from the user, that we're then going to formulate it into a clever type printout onto the screen. So we'll do something like stdc out hello first name first name last name we're also going to have to put in a space there. So we'll do that. First name, last name, and then another space, and then pet name is a pretty weird name for a pet. And end line. Hopefully I haven't paused that up anywhere. Let's find out. Cool, so we'll run it and we will enter our first name. So we're going to put in John. Our last name will be, well, we'll keep it original, Smith. And the name of my pet we will call, shouldn't be that hard to think of a pet's name. Silly dog, how about that? Like it's silly dog. Hello, John Smith. Silly dog is a pretty weird name for a pet. So you could probably also, grammatize that a little bit. Hello, John Smith, comma. Silly dog is a pretty weird name for a pet. And that's pretty much a very basic overview of strings and how they work. So what we're going to do in the next episode is hopefully combine the knowledge as well with along with learning something new, and we're going to kind of make a slightly bigger application and hopefully make something that is a little bit more entertaining to use. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.